What's up, moneymakers? Welcome back to Warren's Money Buffet, where we uncover the financial opportunities that Wall Street doesn't want you to see. Today, we're diving into what might be the most explosive IPO of 2025, Circle Internet Group, the company behind the USDC stablecoin, which has skyrocketed from $31 to over $240 in just weeks. That's a staggering 745% return that could have turned $10K into $84,500 faster than you can say crypto revolution.
Thanks for sure. I want to go to a clip here because this clip explains a little bit of why we're seeing Circle's stock perform so well while the market not necessarily the same. Take a look.
Do you think that Coinbase is becoming kind of just viewed more traditionally because it's an equity, essentially?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you're an equity investor and you don't want to have exposure to a BTC ETF, that's one expression. But I was surprised actually of CoinCircle's sort of IPO debut, to be honest, right? I thought it was probably a bit rich. 50% of the revenue of interest revenue that comes from Circle's business actually is paid out to Coinbase. But I wouldn't be surprised if a big institution like a JP Morgan, et cetera, was able to take sort of that market share from Circle, right?
Does it give more credence in terms of the path and trajectory for, say, Ethereum?
Absolutely.
All right, so points they're getting at is that mainstream traditional finance has discovered crypto through the use of Circle. Circle right now ran from $64 to $200, and it's still pumping right now above almost $250 right now. Circle isn't just USDC, they monetize trust and yield. That's a big deal. We get the Genius Act passing. That is a huge thing. I anticipate, though, that this is going to have a follow-on effect on the rest of the crypto market for sure. This is new money coming into crypto, but in through a traditional finance way. So,
did you catch that? Circle's IPO wasn't just successful, it was historic. This wasn't some small-time crypto play. This was a statement from Wall Street saying, we're all in on digital assets now. So buckle up as we break down exactly what happened, why BlackRock grabbed 10% of Circle before anyone else could, and why the Senate passing the Genius Act sent this stock into the stratosphere. If you're serious about not missing the next wealth creation opportunity, hit that subscribe button right now because financial freedom waits for no one. Let's start with the basics. Circle is the company behind USDC, the second largest stablecoin in the world, with over $61 billion in circulation as of June 2025. On June 5th, 2025, Circle went public on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol CRCL. Now here's where things get interesting. Initial IPO price, $31 per share, already above the expected range of $27 to $28. Opening price on first trading day, $69, representing a 124% instant gain. First day close, $83.23, up 168% from IPO price. Second day peak, above $120, nearly tripling the IPO price in just 2 days. June 23rd, price, approximately $240, a 745% increase from IPO price.
Circle IPO'd just a few days ago, and its stock rallied by more than 200% on the first day of trading, starting from $31, hitting over $90 by the end of the first day, and that continued into the second day. I think the peak was a little over $120, and at the time of recording, we're looking at about $115 per share. So a wild success for the Circle IPO. Apparently, it was 25 times oversubscribed on the roadshow, which is something that like the banks who back the thing do, that they go around the country trying to like drum up buyers, right? So 25x oversubscribed. One of the buyers of the IPO reportedly is BlackRock, which acquired 10% of the company, according to reports. Obviously, that signals BlackRock's bullish stance on the stablecoin industry. But I think maybe the takeaway here is don't mid-curve it. Everyone knows that stablecoins are going to be big. This company is like the premier like stablecoin company in the US. It shouldn't be a surprise that it pumped, that it's doing well.
A couple takeaways for me for this is, number one, kind of to echo what you were saying, but the appetite for crypto companies in traditional finance is quite high. And I think this is just going to give the further green light for other crypto native companies to IPO as well. Gemini, I think, is looking at it.
Yeah, they just filed.
And
they just filed.
And then I would say what I saw online, which I also think makes sense, is I would bet on Ripple trying to IPO in this cycle before this cycle is over. Man,
this wasn't just any IPO. It was 25 times oversubscribed, meaning demand exceeded the available shares by 2,500%. When Wall Street wants in this badly, you know something monumental is happening. One of the most significant catalysts behind Circle's explosive debut, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with over $10 trillion under management, acquired approximately 10% of Circle's IPO shares. Why would BlackRock make this move? They already manage Circle Reserve Fund, which holds 90% of the reserves backing USDC. This gives them a strategic position in the future of digital dollars and payment infrastructure. The partnership includes a 4-year exclusivity agreement, preventing BlackRock from launching competing stablecoins. As one analyst put it, this isn't just an investment, it's BlackRock positioning itself at the heart of the digital dollar ecosystem. Traditional finance isn't fighting crypto anymore, it's embracing it, and Circle is its vehicle of choice. If BlackRock's involvement lit the fuse, the Senate's passing of the Genius Act on June 17th was the rocket fuel that sent Circle's stock into orbit. The Genius Act passed with a bipartisan 68-30 vote, creating the first comprehensive federal framework for stablecoins. This is massive because it provides regulatory clarity that legitimizes stablecoins in the U.S. financial system. It requires stablecoin issuers to maintain full 1.1 reserves with treasury bills or other approved assets. It positions regulated stablecoin issuers like Circle to capture massive market share as digital payments go mainstream. After the Genius Act passed, Circle stock jumped another 34%, closing at $240, as investors recognize this legislation as a green light for stablecoin adoption. Why does this matter to you? Now you might be thinking, great story, but why should I care? Here's why this is a game changer for every investor. Circle's market cap has now surpassed $62 billion, more than the total value of the USDC stablecoin it issues, which is $60 billion. Traditional payment processors like Visa and MasterCard saw their stocks drop 3 to 4% as Wall Street recognized the threat from blockchain-based payments. Circle's revenue increased 59% year over year, with 75% net income growth in Q1 2025. The stablecoin market is projected to grow to $3.7 trillion. That's 15x larger than today's market. This isn't just about one successful IPO. It's about a fundamental shift in how value circulates throughout the global economy. Stablecoins are becoming the bridge between traditional finance and the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and Circle is positioned at the center of this transformation. What's next for Circle? So, where does Circle go from here? The company now has over $1 billion in fresh capital from the IPO to expand globally and build out its payment infrastructure. With the regulatory clarity provided by the Genius Act, we can expect major retailers and payment platforms are adopting USDC for faster, cheaper transactions. Significant expansion into international markets where traditional banking is limited. Development of new financial products built on the Circle platform. Potential acquisitions to consolidate Circle's market position. As Jeremy Allaire, Circle's CEO, stated after the Genius Act passed, history is being made, taking us one step closer to breakthrough legislation being signed into U.S. law that will drive U.S. economic and national competitiveness for decades to come. So what's the play here for savvy investors? While Circle has already seen extraordinary gains, we're still in the early chapters of the stablecoin story. The total stablecoin market currently stands at just $250 billion. However, with the passage of the Genius Act and institutional adoption accelerating, this figure could expand significantly in the coming years. Consider these strategic approaches. Direct investment in Circle stock for exposure to the leading regulated stablecoin issuer. Positions in companies building infrastructure around stablecoins, like Coinbase, which earns 50% of Circle's reserve income. Understanding how traditional finance players are adapting to this new reality. Remember Warren Buffett's famous advice: be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. While many are now piling into Circle after its massive run, the more brilliant play might be to understand the broader implications of this shift in the financial landscape. Circle's historic IPO and subsequent performance aren't just a story about one successful company. They're a glimpse into the future of finance. When the world's largest asset manager invests and Congress passes legislation to support the industry, it's time to pay attention. The question isn't whether digital assets will transform finance, but that's already happening. The question is whether you'll be positioned to benefit from this transformation. If you found value in this analysis, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. At Warren's Money Buffet, we're committed to spotting these seismic shifts before the mainstream catches on. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on Circle and stablecoins. Are they the future of money or just another overhyped trend? Remember, in the world of investing, information is power, but only if you act on it. Until next time, this is Warren's Money Buffet, helping you build wealth in a changing world.